overs, 3 for 30, a fine performance by him. In fact, the result is official, 47 runs, and the England selectors, of course, well justified in the selection of this Texaco Trophy squad, which incurred a little bit of doubt, shall we say, from many of the pundits. And of course, Pringle was one of those doubted, but he, in fact, had 2 fine matches, and this time he is the man of the match, appointed by Brian Close. Position into bat. There were changes in both sides. Neil Radford came into the England side instead of the injured Graham Dilley, and Haynes and Benjamin replaced Harper and Ambrose in the West Indies side. Well, let's join it now in the 4th over. The score, 2 for no wicket, and Radford is bowling to Haynes. Big shout there from Radford, who is a big shouter. Downton and supported by Mike Gatting at first slip. That's full bung. Oh, says Paul Downton, and Neil Radford just can't believe it. Complete miscue by Desmond Haynes. And the benefit to the batsman. Umpire clearly thinking the ball is moving down leg side. Past the middle of the bat for Desmond Haynes. Beautiful on drive, 1-2, and no need to run any further. 4 runs on drive. First sign of confidence from Desmond Haynes. Dickie Bird, the umpire at the nursery end. One would normally say celebrating his 100th international appearance, but Dickie tends to take a gloomy view of things when there's rain and a dark cloud around. Great warrior. On behalf of the players, but congratulations to him. And again, Gordon Greenidge struggling to get the middle of the bat to the ball. That ball cutting back sharply and lifting a bit.
We'll have to wait until the 8th over to get off the mark. That's as good a way as any to do it. Greenidge is 4. That's bad luck for Philip DeFREITAS. Well on his way to a record there, but the whole thing has been thrown into disarray by a single. Dennis Compton, one of the really great players the cricket world has ever seen. Marvellously unorthodox and a brilliant stroke player. People talk about good stroke players today. I can assure you that there stands one of the greatest ever. Pringle is the new bowler from the nursery end. It's the long side of the ground today. Might be very much trouble going to run 4 for anything that goes down to that corner. That's exactly what they've done on Graham Gooch's arm and on his run as well. Pringle was the man of the match in the game at Headingley and was a star at Edgbaston. Gordon Greenidge just made a little decision about what he might try and do to him out there today.
Well, that one was off target. Just picked it up, just perfectly straight swing of the bat, turn of the wrist. Just put it in the crowd at deep square.
Good understanding between these two. They've played many times together. No hesitation. Comfortably in there. One of the things the West Indies have been lacking in the two previous one-day nationals is one of the early batsmen to bat and make a long innings. Well, just talk about misunderstanding and straight away you get one hesitation there. I think if they'd both gone there'd have been no problem, but just that slight hesitation and leaving Greenidge a yard short at the 5.
Well, full marks to Pringle there. I know cricketers are supposed to go back to the stumps and take the throw, but doesn't always happen these days. And it was a very good piece of work. Well judged by the thrower, Chris Broad, and Pringle raced back very quickly to get there to take the throw on the bounce.
And a nice throw, first bounce, right to the side of the stumps there. All Pringle had to do was take it and break the wicket.
Richie Richardson is the new player. So he was just short for one moment, and I had my eyes fixed on the two hands there, and Pringle just managed to keep his hands together, holding the ball until the stumps were broken, and then they came apart. But he was okay, and it was a good decision from umpire Dickie Bird. Came close in the end because Pringle had to search for the stumps.
I was just saying there was a bit of movement for the England bowlers, and Gladstone Small just proving that there. Beautiful delivery, pitching just outside off stump and going up the hill and beating Greenwich all the way there. So quite a bit of encouragement for the seam bowlers now.
Good reply to being beaten outside the off stump. Will rattle away into the mound in front of the members' pavilion.
I'm not sure that went exactly where Gordon Greenidge meant. I think I was hitting probably a little bit straighter than that, but there was no danger. The ball was quite a bit outside off stump and finished at wideish mid-on.
One of Greenwich's strengths through mid-wicket. Just the 2 runs. That's the 50 up, coming off 118 deliveries. And a different start to this West Indies innings in this 3rd match. And there's a handsome stroke. And that's the strength of Greenwich, that under these conditions, the slightest thing loose he can latch on to it. Well, just getting there, straying down leg side and paying the penalty. Pringle having dropped a man out deep on the extra cover boundary now after that previous delivery which Greenidge hit for 4. Oh, there's a good delivery. Well, that's the classic unplayable delivery.
Yes, that's pitched off, and it's... God, he's taken it 2'6" outside off, so that really did move.
Embry to continue. Down goes Greenidge, but straight to Broad at long on. There he goes for the big one. And what a catch! Great catch by Philip DeFREITAS. Give it to Embry because Greenwich was aiming in front of square for that. Please Broad, and a displeased Gordon Greenwich, shaking his head. A shorter boundary, and he couldn't find it.
As I said, I thought Greenidge made his mind to try and get after Embry. That one he hit pretty well, and in fact I think DeFREITAS was a bit late in picking that up in the crowd, and marvellous catch at the finish. He caught that really down by his bootlaces. But I think early in the over, Greenidge had tried to hit Embry straight, which went on first bounce to long on, and I don't think he was playing it like that. I think he was going for the 6. I think he was going for 6 again then, because this wicket is low down at the bottom side of Lord's, and I think Greenwich felt that if he could middle it, he could clear those fielders, but on that occasion he didn't quite middle it, and DeFREITAS taking a beautiful catch.
Yes, the old scoreboard principle, 6 or out. You know who this man is. Big applause for the West Indies captain, Viv Richards. Another look at this catch. See Greenidge going for the one there in front of square, but got it behind, and DeFREITAS there, a fine catch. You need to be a young man and have a great pair of hands to bring off a catch like that. Making sure that seems just right. Bang on target. Applause again from the crowd. Maiden over, 3rd one he's bowled. Bowled 5 at Edgbaston, and to do that in the 31st over of a 55 over match, well, it's pretty good bowling.
And it's going to be interesting now to see how Viv Richards will play. There's no doubt that he's got out in the previous 2 innings at Edgbaston and Headingley by really trying to hit the ball too hard.
Oh, well bowled, well bowled. Well, he's threatened to do that several times. He's been past the outside edge of both batsmen, using the slope from the nursery end, but also swinging and seaming the ball away. And that's certainly added to West Indies' problems.
Yes, Richard Richardson has never really come to terms with batting on these 3 one-day matches, and again the bat was a long way from the body there, just pushing at it, not coming down from wicketkeeper to bowl with the bat, and he paid the penalty. A little edge there to Paul Downton, and while Richard Richardson's a very fine stroke player in good conditions, he certainly doesn't look to have all that greater technique of the ball just moving about a bit off the seam.
I think, Ray, the virtue of Pringle's wickets in this one-day tournament. He's bowled them out, hasn't he? I mean, he's gotten them out. He hasn't had them given to him from the slog, and I think he's done himself quite a favour.
Yes, he's always looked capable of taking wickets throughout the three one-day matches he's played in. He's beaten the bat reasonably consistently, both on the inside and the outside, so you can't really grumble at that.
Gus Logie, the new batsman. Just one more look at how Derek Pringle struck in his final over. See this ball pitching round about off stump, forcing Richardson to play, but that's where the front foot is eventually gone. Should have been there in the first place and wasn't. All credit to the bowler there. He generated the movement. There's his wicket. And that's a wicket maiden to finish off with. Great figures he's turned in for the third successive match. 11 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 27. So his 33 overs just cost 83 runs. And he's taken 5 wickets in the series. So those are figures which are high class in any sort of cricket, but to do it in one-day cricket speaks pretty well. Mike Gatting decided that, well, what Gordon Greenidge had tried to do, Viv Richards just might succeed in pulling off. And of course, Richards is in the Gladstone small back pocket twice already in this series, so horses for courses perhaps. Good psychological move, because a person like Richards likes to dominate, and you may well force him into trying something that normally he wouldn't. This time just taking the single, quick one. And he's given him out, so there's Richards looking for the single, picked the wrong man in Alan Lamb. Swift pick up, underarm throw, direct hit. Well, and what a good bowling change.
Well, it was always going to be tight, and of course once you hit the stumps that makes it even tighter. Disappointment there for Gus Logie. They didn't really go without a look at each other. It wasn't an automatic thing, that they kind of have a little look at each other before they set off, and you do lose that yard that way.
Carl Hooper coming out to join his captain, having a look at the skies, but yeah, clouds are high enough at the moment. There's the man who was involved in that, and here's what he caused. Just looking for the quick single, just that little hesitation from his end. Lamb pounces, quick pickup, direct hit, and Logie running that bat in with his left hand. I think he would have needed to have been a few inches taller to have made good his ground there, so a little bit of hesitation at the start was fatal. 34th over of this innings. There's a handsome stroke. Well, that's a shot of real Caribbean pedigree, Raymond.
Yes, I think of all the younger players, this fellow Hooper's looked the best of the West Indians so far on this tour, and this was a typical example. It was a foolish length, but he hit it coming up on the back foot and beautifully timed through extra cover.
Lovely little late shift of the weight. Look at the weight go into that. Everything going forward into it. The head going on into the stroke. That's why it went so fast.
to or bowled.
Greenwich is setting off to give that a right clump through the covers, and it's moved back so sharply at him that he could barely get an inside edge of the bat on it.
That would be very close to the best ball we've seen bowled today. Not too many people could have got a bat on that.
Yes, that has gone like the proverbial leg break. Certainly pitched off.
Everything Mike Gatting touches turns to gold at the moment. He may or may not be tempting fate by bowling DeFREITAS from the pavilion end. Because from the nursery end, he bowled 6 overs, 5 maidens, none for 1. Different run-up, perhaps a fraction downhill from the members. Question whether DeFREITAS can use this end as well as he did the other one. Well, there you are. He's picked up a wicket to go with the run. Goal for Gatting and certainly for DeFREITAS. In his 7th over, Philip DeFREITAS has 1 for 1. Viv Richards goes, caught by Embury, off DeFREITAS for 9.
Well, that's the second time Embury's caught Viv Richards in the gully area. That much easier than the one before. Viv Richards hit it well enough, a little high on the bat, and Embury's really, well, he's hardly gully, he's a sort of backward point there.
Now Dujour comes out with the score 95 for 5, so England very much on top again.
In the end, it was probably just too close to Richards for him to get the meat of the bat onto it.
Gatting's had 2 good matches as captain. Had the side well at Edgbaston, made runs just when they were needed. Did well up at Headingley, the handling of the bowlers. Although everyone realises these need not bear any great relevance to the test matches still to come, it is very nice to be on a winning streak. Up for the West Indies. Vehement from the bowler and from the wicket-keeper. A bit high from behind.
In a very interrupted day, the West Indies accepted the umpire's offer of a break for lack of good light. 1 hour and 10 minutes later, it's now a fine evening, and Mike Gatting has brought on Greenidge.
And Gooch has done it well for him. He's bowled a maiden first up.
And almost a wicket as well, very, very close to that. Just a little bit of movement there for Graham Gooch. Gooch is no mug with the ball. He certainly swings it as much as most people, and he can swing it both ways, both in and out, so that also worries the batsman.
Oh, miles out. Miles out. That's beautiful fielding from Philip DeFREITAS. He sensed that Hooper was going to keep going, And Hooper is very quick between the wickets, but the DeFREITAS throw came in like a rocket.
Beautifully turned off his hip by Carl Hooper, and he was always looking for two, and of course you can see from the outside, and DeFREITAS could see that he was going to struggle, and he wasn't really going for it until too late, much too late. If he'd gone hard for two right from the beginning, he might have got there.
DeFREITAS did well. He got rid of the ball very, very quickly. Very good pick up and throw. Marshall was smart to come back, but Radford had it, and also, in the same way as DeFREITAS did, got rid of it very quickly. That near run out, Marshall was the striker, got it away. Radford picked it up one hand, got rid of it, and it was a good flat throw. Marshall now has to start motoring. Would have been out by a yard or two had it hit the stumps. A very good stroke. It's the last ball of Radford's 11th over. 11 overs, 2 maidens, none for 29. A good effort to go with Pringle, who has also been bowled out. 11 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 27. Both those bowlers have done a great job, as indeed have all the Englishmen. This will be the last over of today's play. Gooch bowled 2 overs for 3, was taken off, and DeFREITAS has come back on. It's a great stop down there by Chris Broad. Got 2 runs from what looked to be a certain 4. That was the last ball of the first day's play, what has turned out to be a 2-day match. Marshall picking up 2 runs. He's gone on to 9. And Duchamp's made 15, 125 for 6, and 50 overs have gone, with Broad saving 2 runs from that last ball.
Yes, excellent fielding by England. Just note the 3 run-outs there, all brilliant pieces of fielding. And the match incomplete, 5 more overs for the West Indies to face, and England their full quota of 55. Fine day for the England bowling. Conditions favouring seam. Superb performance by Philip DeFREITAS. Just look at that, 10 overs, 5 maidens, 1 for 12, and tremendous support from every bowler there.
Marshall at the crease.